the psalm that brings strength and healing. Life can be overwhelming. There are moments when exhaustion takes over, worries pile up, and pain feels endless. In those times, you may wonder if there is anything that can truly bring relief. The answer might be found in words written centuries ago, words that still hold the power to heal, restore, and transform lives today. This psalm is not just a collection of poetic phrases, it carries a promise of renewal. It has been passed down through generations, bringing peace to those who feel lost, afraid, or burdened. It reminds us that no storm lasts forever, and no night is endless. Light always returns for those who hold on to faith. If you've ever faced a moment where everything felt hopeless, where you couldn't see a way forward, then this message is for you. This psalm is a call to rise again, a hymn of victory for those who long for healing and strength. It speaks directly to the hearts of those who have endured sleepless nights, deep sorrow, and moments of weakness. But more than that, it reassures us that pain is never the end of the story. Throughout history, countless people have found comfort in these words. They have turned to this psalm in times of crisis, whispering its verses in hospital rooms, in moments of loss, and during overwhelming struggles. Even today, it continues to bring hope to those seeking healing physically, emotionally, and spiritually. No matter what you are going through, this psalm carries a powerful truth: joy will come again. Just as the night gives way to the morning, sorrow will be replaced with peace. So take a deep breath and let this truth settle in your heart. There is hope, there is healing, and no matter how heavy the burden may feel, God has not forgotten you. His promise of renewal still stands, waiting for you to embrace it. Faith, the strength to keep going. Life is unpredictable. One moment, everything feels stable, and the next, a storm hits without warning. Challenges come, fear takes hold, and the path forward seems unclear. In those moments, what keeps a person standing? What gives someone the strength to push forward when life feels overwhelming? The answer is simple: faith. Faith is the invisible force that has carried people through the darkest times in history. It is what gives strength when everything else falls apart. It's not just a belief, it's a foundation that keeps hope alive, even when there seems to be no reason left to believe. Think about your own life. Have you ever faced a situation that felt impossible? A time when pain, loss, or uncertainty made you feel like giving up? If you found the strength to keep going, chances are it wasn't just from within yourself. Faith has a way of giving people the courage to stand when they feel like collapsing. History is full of examples of faith in action. In 1963, during the Civil Rights Movement, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered a speech that changed the course of history. He said, "With faith, we will be able to transform the discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood." His unshakable belief in a better future inspired millions, proving that faith is not just an idea, it's a force that drives real change. Faith has also helped people rise again after devastating losses. After Hurricane Katrina in 2005, thousands of families lost everything. Yet, in the middle of the destruction, survivors gathered to pray. They had lost their homes, their belongings, some even lost loved ones. But they still held on to one certainty: hope could not be destroyed. Years later, many said it was faith that gave them the strength to rebuild. If you are facing a difficult season, remember this: faith is what carries you through. God never promised a life without challenges, but He did promise to walk with those who trust in Him. The night may be long, but morning always comes. Hold on, your breakthrough is closer than you think. The healing power of faith and science. For years, people have debated the relationship between faith and science, often seeing them as opposites. But what if they actually work together? While faith strengthens the soul, science is beginning to confirm what believers have always known: faith has real, measurable effects on a person's physical and emotional well-being. Faith is not just a spiritual concept. It has a direct impact on the mind and body. When people turn to prayer, meditation, or worship, they experience something deeper than just emotional comfort. Scientific studies have shown that faith can help lower stress, reduce anxiety, and even improve physical recovery. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association in 2014 revealed something remarkable. Patients who practiced prayer or meditation showed lower stress levels and greater resilience in facing illness. Their bodies responded better to treatment, and they recovered with a stronger sense of peace. This proves that faith is not just a belief, it plays an active role in healing. Throughout history, countless people have relied on faith in times of crisis. When medical treatments had no answers, when circumstances seemed impossible, people turned to God for strength. And time after time, they found peace, comfort, and even miracles that defied explanation. Even doctors and medical professionals have witnessed cases where faith made a difference. There are stories of patients given no chance of survival who recovered in ways science could not explain. Many in the medical field acknowledge that faith is not just a coping mechanism. It is a force that influences healing. But faith doesn't just help in sickness, it strengthens the mind and heart as well. Depression, anxiety, and emotional struggles affect millions of people every day. Yet research shows that those who actively practice their faith through prayer, attending church, or personal devotion experience lower rates of stress and greater emotional stability. Faith and science are not enemies. Medicine treats the body, but faith heals the soul. True healing happens when both work together. No matter what you're facing today, remember, faith is powerful. It can restore, strengthen, and give hope, even in the darkest times. The power of gratitude, a key to strength and renewal. Life is full of challenges. It's easy to focus on what's going wrong, on what's missing, or on the pain that feels never-ending. But what if there's a different way to look at life? What if the key to strength, peace, and even healing is something simple: gratitude? Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a mindset, a way of seeing life even when things are difficult. When a person chooses to focus on what they have rather than what they lack, something powerful happens. The heart becomes lighter, the mind clearer, and hope grows stronger. Science has confirmed what many people of faith have long believed: gratitude has the power to transform lives. In 1928, psychologist Robert Emmons conducted a study where participants wrote down 3 things they were grateful for every day. The results were astonishing. Those who practiced gratitude experienced lower stress, improved mood, and greater resilience in facing challenges. They were not only happier, but they handled difficult situations with more strength and clarity. But this idea isn't just found in science. It's deeply rooted in faith. The Bible teaches the importance of gratitude, even in tough times. Psalm 30 is a perfect example. When David wrote this psalm, he wasn't in a place of comfort. He had faced loss, enemies, and moments of deep sorrow. Yet, instead of focusing on his pain, he chose to praise God. He declared that joy comes in the morning, reminding us that no matter how hard the night is, a new beginning is always on the way. This teaches us something important. Gratitude is a choice. It's not just about feeling thankful when life is good. It's about choosing to recognize God's blessings, even in the middle of a storm. So, take a moment today to reflect. What has God already done in your life? What blessings have you overlooked? No matter what challenges you're facing, gratitude has the power to shift your perspective, strengthen your heart, and lead you toward a life filled with greater peace and joy. The power of praise, unlocking strength in every season. Life isn't always easy. There are moments of deep sorrow, uncertainty, and hardship. But in the midst of those struggles, there is something that can bring strength, peace, and even breakthrough: praise. Praise is more than just singing a song or saying the right words. It is an act of faith, a declaration that no matter what is happening, God is still in control. It shifts the focus from problems to possibilities, from fear to trust. When a person chooses to praise even in difficult times, it is a statement of confidence in God's power and faithfulness. The Bible is filled with examples of praise unlocking miracles. One of the most powerful stories is found in the book of Acts. Paul and Silas were thrown into prison, beaten, and chained for their faith. But instead of complaining or giving up, they did something unexpected. They began to sing praises to God. In the middle of the night, their voices filled the prison, and then something incredible happened. An earthquake shook the foundations of the prison, their chains fell off, and the doors flew open. Their praise didn't just strengthen them, it led to their freedom. But does this still apply today? Absolutely. There are countless stories of people who have faced unbearable pain, loss, sickness, financial struggles, yet found strength and peace through worship. Studies from Duke University have shown that music and worship stimulate areas of the brain responsible for emotional resilience and well-being. In other words, praise is not just a spiritual practice. It has a real impact on the mind and heart. Psalm 30 reminds us that God turns mourning into dancing and sorrow into joy. That means no matter how dark the night feels, morning is coming. So if you are in a season of struggle, don't let your circumstances silence your praise. Lift your voice, declare God's goodness, and trust that He is working behind the scenes. When you choose to praise, you are not ignoring reality. You are declaring that God is greater than your struggles, and breakthrough is on the way, turning pain into strength, overcoming through faith. Life is filled with challenges. At some point, everyone faces pain, loss, or disappointment. The question is not whether we will experience hardship, but how we will respond to it. Will we let suffering define us, or will we find the strength to rise again? Pain often feels unfair. It can come without warning, shake what seemed secure, and leave us wondering why we had to go through it. But Psalm 30 reminds us of a powerful truth. Weeping may last for a night, but joy comes in the morning. No suffering is permanent, and no struggle is without purpose. Throughout history, people have found strength in their darkest moments. One powerful example is Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. He lost his family, endured unthinkable suffering in a concentration camp, and faced conditions that could have broken him. But instead of letting the trauma consume him, he chose to find meaning in his pain. His book Man's Search for Meaning has inspired millions, proving that suffering can be transformed into strength. This same lesson applies to all of us. The trials we face may be painful, but they do not have to destroy us. In fact, they can shape us into stronger, wiser, and more compassionate people. Many of the greatest leaders, healers, and visionaries in history were shaped by their hardships. Their struggles gave them a deeper understanding of life, making them more equipped to help others. Even in Scripture, we see this pattern. The Apostle Paul endured persecution, imprisonment, and suffering, yet he wrote some of the most powerful words of encouragement in the Bible. He declared, "When I am weak, then I am strong." His faith gave him the strength to endure, and his pain became a testimony of God's power. If you are facing a difficult season, remember this: God does not waste pain. He uses it to strengthen, restore, and prepare you for something greater. Your struggle is not the end of your story. It may just be the beginning of a powerful testimony. The power of prayer, a direct connection to God. There are moments in life when human words aren't enough. When pain is overwhelming, when questions have no answers, and when the weight of life feels too heavy to carry, there is only one true refuge: prayer. Prayer is not just a religious ritual. It is a lifeline, a direct connection between the human heart and God. It doesn't require perfect words or memorized phrases. It is simply an open and honest conversation with the one who knows our struggles, our fears, and our deepest desires. Psalm 30 reminds us that God hears and responds to those who call on Him. This has been true for centuries. Throughout history, people have turned to prayer in their most desperate moments and found peace, strength, and even miracles. Science is now proving what believers have always known. A study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine found that people who pray regularly experience lower levels of anxiety, greater emotional stability, and a stronger ability to handle crises. Prayer doesn't just change circumstances, it changes the person who prays. But what makes prayer so powerful? First, it shifts our focus from the problem to the one who holds the solution. When we bring our worries to God, we are reminded that we are not alone. Second, prayer strengthens our faith. Even when answers don't come immediately, something changes inside us. Fear turns to peace, uncertainty turns to trust, and weakness turns to strength. During World War II, many soldiers wrote in their letters that prayer was what kept them going. Surrounded by chaos and fear, they found comfort in speaking to God. Even today, millions of people rely on prayer to navigate life's difficulties. If prayer isn't a part of your daily life, start today. Talk to God as you would a close friend. If you already have this habit, strengthen it. Read Psalm 30, meditate on its words, and allow its truth to settle in your heart. No matter where you are or what you're facing, God is listening. He sees your pain, hears your prayers, and is already working on your behalf. Restoration, turning brokenness into a new beginning. At some point in life, everyone experiences loss, disappointment, or brokenness. It could be a shattered dream, a failed relationship, or a season of deep pain that makes it seem like nothing will ever be the same again. But the truth is, what feels like the end is often just the beginning of something greater. Restoration is possible, and God specializes in bringing new life to what seems lost. Psalm 30 reminds us that God turns mourning into joy, sorrow into celebration, and brokenness into beauty. It is a message of hope for those who feel like they have lost everything, reminding them that no situation is beyond God's ability to restore. True restoration is not about going back to the way things were. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, and more whole than before. One of the greatest examples of restoration in the Bible is Job's story. He lost everything: his health, his wealth, and even his family. His suffering was unimaginable, yet he remained faithful. And in the end, God didn't just restore what Job had lost, he gave him back twice as much. This is a powerful reminder that God's restoration is not just about healing the past, but about creating a better future. Even today, people experience this kind of renewal. There are countless stories of individuals who have faced devastating hardships, serious illness, financial ruin, or personal tragedy, only to come out of those struggles stronger, with a deeper faith and purpose. One such story is that of John Smith, a man who suffered a severe accident and was told he would never walk again. But through faith, perseverance, and prayer, he defied the odds, not only walking again, but dedicating his life to inspiring others. If you are in a season of brokenness, know this: God is not finished with your story. What seems lost can be rebuilt, and what is broken can be restored. Trust in His plan, because restoration isn't just about recovering, it's about stepping into something even greater than before. A new beginning, trusting God's plan. Life is full of unexpected twists. Sometimes we face situations that feel impossible to overcome: painful losses, failures, or moments of deep uncertainty. In those times, it's easy to believe that our story is over. But the truth is, with God, every ending is simply the start of a new beginning. No suffering is wasted, no struggle is meaningless, and no pain lasts forever. Psalm 30 delivers a powerful promise: weeping may last through the night, but joy comes in the morning. This verse reminds us that no matter how dark the night may seem, morning always comes. God is always working behind the scenes, preparing something greater than what we can see in the present moment. Many people throughout history have faced overwhelming challenges, only to see their lives completely transformed when they chose to trust God. One such story is that of Viktor Frankl, a psychiatrist who survived the horrors of a Nazi concentration camp. He lost everything: his family, his home, and his sense of normal life. Yet, instead of letting his pain destroy him, he chose to find meaning in it. He later wrote Man's Search for Meaning, a book that has inspired millions to find purpose even in suffering. This lesson applies to all of us. Maybe you are facing a season of heartbreak, failure, or uncertainty. Maybe things haven't gone the way you planned, and you feel like giving up. But remember this: God is not done with you. The pain you are experiencing today is not the end of your story. It might just be the beginning of something greater. Life is not about avoiding challenges, but about growing through them. Every difficult moment, every disappointment, every setback is shaping you for something better. When one door closes, another opens. When a dream is lost, a new purpose is revealed. So hold on, trust the process. Believe that God is working all things for your good. Because no matter how long the night may seem, morning is coming, and with it, a brand new beginning.